Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 9:30, April 17th. Happy Easter. Hopefully you had a nice Easter. Weather was kind of blustery with passing clouds and some sun, but I did get outside for a little bit today. Really late in the day, late afternoon, and took a look at some of these clouds in the sky. They were kind of pretty, and then went over to Massapequa Preserve for a little bit. At the lake, I was able to walk around and take some nice pictures, see some pines, see some water. It was pretty. I'll just show you what it looked like there. But pretty darn nice out. You can see that. Very nice, actually. So, yeah, you can see a little Virga in the sky, too, a little bit. There you go. There's some Virga right there. So it was actually some Virga, and there must have been there. That's basically rain that wasn't reaching the ground because the air was pretty dry. It probably evaporated before it got close to the ground there, as you could see. And then a little bit of a dusk at Twin Lakes again, enjoying some of that nice cool breeze. Beautiful, colorful pink dusk. I always love those. Those are always beautiful. And you can see what it looks like there. It's pretty, definitely very, very pretty skies there for the dusk. Always like that when you get that kind of dusk. You always get that with cold air. Get a nice pink dusk. Camera isn't really stated enough how pretty it is, but it is pretty amazing, actually. So, let's go and look at what our satellite images looked like today. Our high-resolution satellite image from the MODIS satellite. You can see this is what it looked like early in the day. There actually were mostly sunny skies for a time today on Long Island, and then these clouds quickly developed by the middle of the day. But there was some mostly sunny skies reported at certain times of the day, of course. And, if I didn't have, I might have been able to go to the Pine Barrens, but I didn't want to push it. Did not want to push it, you know what I'm saying? So just went to a few areas where I know that civilization isn't too far away, but I can still see some nature. That's a good thing about Long Island. You can do that. So let's take a look at the weather map right now. We're going to go to the weather map and look, not at that, but we're going to, let me go back to this. We are going to look at, why do I keep hitting the wrong button? Weather Prediction Center. So let's go look at the weather map, and you can see we have high pressure over us. You can see there's a southern stream storm system. This is the storm system that's going to develop into the coastal low tomorrow night. All right? And you can see mixed precipitation off to the north. If we look at the weather map here in our area, you'll see that we actually have a freeze warning for eastern Suffolk County because the winds are supposed to get light later tonight. Dry air in place, clear skies. That means we're going to see that radiational cooling. In other areas, we have a frost advisory around it. So frost advisory for the rest of Suffolk. So we have a freeze warning in effect tonight from midnight tonight to 8 a.m. Monday. Sub-freezing temperatures as low as 30 expected. So in New Jersey, it's Western Passaic, it's Bergen and Western Passaic. In New York, Northern Westchester, Southeast Suffolk, Rockland, and Northeast Suffolk counties. And this is from tonight till 8 a.m. on Monday. All right, so that's going to affect crops and stuff like that. And then we have a frost advisory for everywhere else. Temperatures will get down to the middle 30s, so there could be frost formation as well. And that's 8 a.m. Tonight till 8 a.m. Monday. So if you have sensitive vegetation, and that's the issue when you have these early warm-ups, that you get all this, flowers, and then you get a cold snap, and it can kill them. So that's the problem when you have these really early warm spells. So let's go look at our current conditions outside right now, and you'll see it looks like it is already dropping in West Hampton, down to 34 degrees at West Hampton, 34, the dew point at 21. Islip is 45, dew point 21. So you see the dew points are low. With the dew point that low, once the winds get lighter, and although we had a lot of winds during the day, the winds are starting to get lighter now. Let's see, and we're even seeing some of that radiational cooling in the New Jersey Pine Barrens as well, 35 at Coyle Fields. So, we're going to see a cold night in the Pine Barrens tonight. I think it'll be pretty cold, and I think it's definitely going to get below freezing in the Pine Barrens tonight, and maybe even areas outside the Pine Barrens too, perhaps. At least 30s are a good bet for all of us. Except maybe for the city. But I mean, the city, I think, could get to that, down to the upper 30s. So let's look at some of the observations, what it was like today at Islip. So just show you what the day was like today. Temperatures mainly were in the 40s, though we did hit 50 at a couple of times. You could see here the clouds being reported. So it was clear in the morning up till around 11:30. So if you got an early start, you could have had a clear morning or mostly clear morning. You could see how strong some of these wind gusts were. We had west-northwest winds gusting up to 36 miles an hour at times. But then the clouds moved in late morning, and then they kind of hung around for most of the day. Then it cleared out a little bit around between 2 and 3, and then more clouds came in. So there were some sunny periods where there were clear skies reported. But passing clouds generally, again, I didn't want to really push myself to go to. It would have been a good day, though, but I didn't really want to do it, Kind of disappointed I didn't, though. But anyway, you can see West Hampton, though, 34 degrees, though. So they're going to drop. They're going to radiate a lot, and that's going to be a big drop in the temperatures. So let's go look at the models, and we'll take a look first at GFS, and we'll actually first pull out and look at, because we're going to cover the longer range in this, North American view, and we will go and look at the jet stream. All right, so you can see we're in a trough pattern right now. We're going to have that trough pattern this week. You can see there's that low forming at the point of the trough right there, that coastal low overnight, Monday night into Tuesday, and then we have a trough passing later Tuesday night into Wednesday, but then you'll start to see a little more of some gentle ridging starting to go on across the east here, but still some troughs here and there. And there's another one that pops up toward the end of the month as well. So with that, don't expect temperatures to be way above normal. Looking at the upper air pattern here, you will see, here we go, here's that storm. For the coastal storm for Tuesday, we get a little bit of ridging, and then we see another trough develop later next week, and that is going to bring some more cooler air. So with this pattern in place, we're not going to really see temperatures dramatically above normal. All right, so let's go to the CONUS view, and we're going to go and look at the surface features. So here are the surface features as we get into this week. There's that high, giving us one more dry day tomorrow, and then rain moves in later tomorrow night, and it's going to be a heavy, steady rain. You can see, look up to the north parts of Pennsylvania, the mountains, upstate New York, northern Hudson Valley. They're going to be dealing with a snowstorm. They're going to be dealing with a snowstorm. This thing pulls out. Precipitation should end we should actually see the sun by Tuesday afternoon. And then another high pressure builds in with some cool air Wednesday. And then we start seeing some warmer temperatures as we head into the latter part of the week there. And you can see it's the weak high pressure there kind of keeping things kind of dry. Just notice that we do have that weak ridge in place. And then, we see that troughing develop again as we get toward the end of the month. You could see some more troughing, and that could bring in some. When you look at a pattern like this, there will not be any extended periods of above normal temperatures. So if we look at the temperature anomaly, you'll see we're going to be below normal. We're getting near normal tomorrow, below normal on Tuesday, probably near. Well, it has Long Island near normal and below normal off to the west on Wednesday, and then just near normal and then we go below normal again. We don't really see any days that are really dramatically below normal again. You can see it generally tends to keep things below normal for this week. And if we go to the Climate Prediction Center, we can see that as well. Let's do that right now. If we go to our 6 to 10 day outlook, it actually has us above normal. That's interesting. So it actually has the east above normal. Even though the GFS, but look at the 8 to 14, it goes below normal. So I guess there will be some chances of above normal weather. At least that's what they're looking at. But I don't see huge. You looked at the model. It seems like maybe they based this on an older model, but we'll go and we'll take a look at the models as far as the temperatures go. Let's start with let's go to the HRRR now, and I'm hoping we have a good amount of that in. We hardly have any of it in. Hardly any. It's only up to 7 hours. I'm going to have to use an old HRRR run. I apologize for that, but there's that high. Kind of moves away. We get more of an onshore flow. Rain starts moving in. The HRRR isn't moving in as soon as 8 o'clock tomorrow night. But it's the the preceding batch of rain, but the main batch of rain comes in later, like after 10, 11 o'clock. We're going to be dealing with that rain. You can see that low is kind of track right over New Jersey. And it's tracking north to south, which is interesting. So it's over by the time we get to Tuesday morning. It's actually over already. And look at the track of this. This thing tracks due north. That is really unusual to see, to have that low. But that's because the high pressure is so strong to the west. It's forcing that low to go straight up north like that. That's an interesting track. And that's going to put us in some warm air if we get into that. We may have an LLJ. Notice how tight those isobars are around that low pressure system. So let's take a look at the dew points. As you can see, we have the easterly flow tomorrow, onshore flow tomorrow. Dew point's still low. But then as that low passes, the winds become southerly. So see dew points briefly jump up to around 50. And then as the low passes, the winds go more westerly. The dew points come down as the low goes up into the Hudson Valley. Let's go look at our temperatures now. And again, I don't know if I agree with the CPC's outlook on that. I think it doesn't really look all that warm to me. But anyway, here we go into Monday. Starting off very cold. Again, 30s for most of us and 20s below freezing, quite likely in the Pine Barrens. Tomorrow will be warmer than today. We'll manage to get above 50. Probably low to maybe middle 50s. And then tomorrow night, cloud cover in rain, 40s. You can see that little burst of warm air that'll occur over us Tuesday morning. And then for the rest of the day, Tuesday, it's going to be on the chilly side. HRRR has a similar temperatures as we had today, so upper 40s to around 50. And again, that's the HRRR. Let's look at another model. Let's look at the NAM3. And we hardly have any of the NAM3 in a 0Z as well. So we're having issues with the models coming in later tonight. Whatever reason they feel like coming in later. So here is the NAM. Right. There's that low. And again, the degrees. And it's a little slow with the rain. Doesn't really bring in the rain after 9 or 10 o'clock, which I tend to agree with more. But look at how heavy it is. Could be some heavy. It could be actually be some thunderstorms in there too. There's the center of the low, right over New York City almost. At around on the 3 a.m., 4 a.m. hour. And then it moves up into the Hudson Valley. And then for the rest of Tuesday, we're just dry. You'll see how that cold air is coming in now behind that low. And it'll drop the temperatures down. Now, we can look at the total snowfall on this. And you'll see, again, mountains are going to get over a foot. Even parts of Albany could be getting like 10 inches. And this isn't going to be that far away from us. So this is what the NAM's snowfall map looks like. If we can look at let's go to the HRRRs again, and I'll have to roll it back to the 18Z run. See what the HRRR is calling for as far as snowfall goes. So seems like it has there's definitely going to be areas that are going to be getting over. That could be near record territory right there. That's a lot of snow right there. So you have the cold air and you have all this moisture coming in, and this could be a record-breaking snow. So if you're in that western tier, I don't want to call it completely western tier, but anywhere from Albany stretching through the Catskills, I guess, into the Poconos, that area could really get hit hard with a lot of snow, over a foot or two, and I imagine it's going to be of the heavy, wet variety. So could cause some power outages, weighing the trees down and stuff like that. Because the temperatures, if you look at the actual temperatures where the snow is going to be falling, it's going to be in the 30s. So it'll be basically, maybe when it comes down heavy, it'll get down to like 30, but this definitely indicates kind of a wet snow will fall for that area. And that could cause a lot of power outages. We're going to have to keep, that area is going to get hit hard. That's for sure. We also have another model to look at called the FV3, which we can also look at as well. This is a form of the GFS. So let's, we don't want that. But let's go tomorrow. You'll see there's your storm. You can see the clear reflection of it. Look at the warm air there. There's a reflection of it. All right, so let's go and look at precipitation on this. So the high moves off. This moves that rain in a little earlier. So again, this is faster like the HRRR. It wants to move it in as soon as 4 or 5 o'clock. All right, and then the rain continues, and it's going to be a heavy rain starting right all through the night, and it takes the low a little further east. This is the 12Z run, though, so this is an old run already, so that's why I don't really want to use it. All right, see, it kind of takes the low further east, but it brings in that heavy rain. And then it brings in some scattered showers on Tuesday, too, but this is such an old run, I really don't want to use it. Let me go back to the HRRR. At least the HRRR is 18Z. All right, and we're going to look at the total accumulated precip as far as how much rain we could see from this. And see how much this model is calling for. So I think we will see at least an inch, if not more. Perhaps 1 to 2 inches of rain. We can also go to the NAM12 as well. Let's see how much rain that is. And I'm going to a little... Yeah, this is the NAM12. So I think that 1 to 1.5 inch, maybe anywhere than 1 to 2 inches of rain is possible with this. Right, and again, we just don't have a whole lot of models to use to talk about, to show you the latest as far as the latest runs go. For some reason, they're slow. I don't know why. There's the RGEM. Don't have anything new from that either. It's weird. Well, let's look at the sky cover while we have the RGEM up here. So I'll show you what's going to happen tomorrow. So we start off with sun, but the cirrus kind of rolls in. Probably by like 10, 11 a.m., you're going to start seeing some cirrus and some contrails and stuff like that. From west to east, thickening and lowering. And then we're overcast. You won't see the sunset probably. And then we have the clouds around, and then we'll see the sun break out again sometime Tuesday in the afternoon. All right, that moves away. And then Wednesday, we should have a nice, mostly sunny day, it looks like. All right. That's using the RGEM. We can also use the NAM3 as well. 18Z NAM3. So this is the 18Z NAM3. It's a lot more aggressive with the cirrus coming in. And then we'll have the clouds. And then Tuesday, again, in the afternoon, we'll see some sun, but it won't be clear. All right, the other issue, of course, that we have to watch for is the wind. So I'm going to go to the GFS for this. And we will go and we'll look at the wind. Because we will see some strong winds with this storm. So here's the GFS, and you can see it looks like the strongest winds will be eastern Long Island and out over the ocean. Other than that, it won't be too bad. But still, it could cause the surf to be rough. So if we look at the wave height, you'll see, yeah, we'll have some rough surf. Definitely from this, especially in New England too. So let's go and let's just look at the Ventus sky. And look at this. Look at the thunderstorm threat for tomorrow night. It's probably not much of anything, but actually, it's more like Tuesday that we're going to see this thunderstorm threat. Yeah, I don't really see much cape here. Well, lifted index. Just saying with all the... Wow, lifted index is pretty good. Oh, that's really deep. Yeah, this is going to be... This is what I mean. This rain we're getting is going to be convective in nature. That's... Oh, this is helicity. Whoops. I knew something wasn't right. That's the lifted index. Okay, there is some of it there, though. There is some of it. So there's going to be a lot of mechanism for lift in the atmosphere, which is going to produce a lot of rain. All right, let's go to the wind gusts. Look at the winds situation. So, oh yeah, this is the wind gust situation here. This is midnight tomorrow night. Oh my gosh, this is actually pretty bad. This is actually giving us 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is using what, the HRRR? Yeah, it's using the HRRR. So let's roll this back to Monday here. This is going to be a significant coastal storm, it looks like here. The winds really start picking up. This is 9 p.m. You can start seeing them pick up. Yeah, these are the gusts. So that could put us under the gun for some power outages and coastal flooding, perhaps. Look at that along the Jersey Shore, 60 to 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts tomorrow night. That's pretty bad. Let's go look at Tuesday. All right, so here's Tuesday, midnight. You can see some pretty strong wind gusts here. Look at that. So there's a very strong easterly flow because there's a very deep low over New Jersey. So yeah, the HRRR seems to want to really bring in the wind here. Give us quite a stormy night tomorrow night. And then the winds subside as we get toward 4 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, they come out of the west, but not as strong. So we're going to have to watch for some of these very strong onshore winds here. That's generating a lot of onshore wind, which means if we look at the waves, look at this off the south shore, 13 feet tomorrow night. So yeah, this is a storm that the HRRR really wants to pump quite a bit of energy into. Of course, every model is different. And again, if we look at the actual wind speed instead of with wind gusts, it's still pretty strong, steady at 27 miles an hour. Out over the water, you're going to have a sustained wind of 51. Yeah, it could be some significant coastal flooding from this, if the HRRR was correct. However, we can change the model on this. Look at the GFS, it's probably not as intense. Yeah, it's not as intense. But still, the gusts still brings some pretty strong wind gusts out over the east end. It just has them further east. 64. We're going to need probably a wind advisory and perhaps a high wind warning with some of these strong southeasterly winds here. This is something that we're going to have to be concerned about. We have a couple of models here that are indicating some very strong winds and coastal flooding that are possible with this storm. So the storm is looking like a really strong nor'easter type of system, which isn't completely unusual for April. But the strength of these winds are definitely unusual for April. Usually you don't see wind gusts this bad. So this is something we're going to have to be concerned about. Well, let me jump back over to let's go to the NAM 12. And what I want to do, all right, we have 24 hours of the NAM 12. That's still not going to be enough. Let's do FGen 850. So this kind of shows you where the lift is. That's a pretty impressive. Look at that. That's some pretty impressive lift there. And that's what's going to cause this heavy, heavy rain. There could be some flash flooding. Generally, it looks like the worst of it's going to be after 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. It moves it through. This is the NAM. All right. So that is significant right there. So we're going to have to really... It's going to be a very stormy night tomorrow night. Very stormy. Just a, wind-driven rain. It's not going to be the kind of weather you're going to want to be out in at all. Let's go to windy.com, which is another model we could use. The storm is way worse than I watch the people on TV. They don't seem to be making a big deal out of it. But honestly, with these winds are going to be impressive. So let's go to the wind gusts on this. This is the European. And again, looking at these wind gusts here. This is 1 a.m. Tomorrow night, 57 mile an hour wind gusts. Yeah, see, it pushes the stronger winds off to the east for whatever reason. This is the European. But we'll have to keep an eye on this because this definitely is going to be a pretty strong coastal storm. That's for sure. So we'll go look at the clouds for tomorrow. And again, tomorrow we'll start off with sunshine. But you'll see the high clouds already rolling in. If you look at the humidity aloft, go aloft, look at the humidity, you'll see there's a lot of humidity up there coming in. So, yeah. It's going to be a lot of moisture up in the upper atmosphere. So, if there aren't any clouds, the contrails will be there with that kind of high humidity up there. Yeah, we're saturated at 1 o'clock. We're almost 100% saturation there. So, we should definitely have an upper cloud deck, especially by noon probably tomorrow. But, yeah, I'm concerned about that wind for sure. The HRRR is really giving this storm a lot of energy. And if we go and we look at the wind, we go above the ground, let's go to 1,000 meters. Yeah, look at this. So this is 1,000 meters up. Yeah, this is 2 a.m. tomorrow. So this is no joke, this storm. All right, 2 a.m. Let me move this back over here. Oh, come on. All right, let's go. 18. All right. Doesn't seem like it wants to. All right, so if we go Monday night, here's Monday night at 11. See some of these strong winds here. This is 1,000 feet off the ground. So any showers and thunderstorms could bring some of these strong winds down tomorrow. So we could see some tropical storm-like conditions tomorrow night. Despite the fact nobody else seems to be alarmed about this. This is kind of alarming here. And again, you have that warm water that's giving these storm energy. If we go to earthnollschool.net, and again, we look at these water temperature anomalies offshore. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that. That bright yellow is just water temperatures way above where they're supposed to be. So if we look at, that says 8.4 Celsius, 15 degrees above normal. Pull this out here. You should be able to see that on your screen, hopefully. Right here, it says 15.1 degrees above normal. Water temperatures just south of Long Island, 5 degrees above normal. This is very significant. And this is going to give the storm energy. It's going to give it a lot of energy to work with. And this is all part of climate change. This is what they don't tell you on TV. Well, because they don't want you to know how bad things are. So if we look at the actual sea surface temperature in this area, change this to Fahrenheit. South of Long Island, water temperatures are already nearing 50. That is above normal. We are only in April. All right. And then if we go to this wave of water offshore here, we have 70-degree water. Look at how far north that is. That's the Gulf Stream there for you. So this is where the energy for the storm is. Look at this little bubble of warm water here. 65 degrees south of. This is crazy. So again, this is what we deal with here. This is what's going to fuel this very strong storm that we're going to be having. And again, Tidbits is kind of misleading with the wind. This is the NAM winds. Well, not quite. Tidbits, this is the 12 kilometer. You can sort of see some of these really strong winds that we have offshore here. And again, if we take it up a little bit, I think this takes us to 850. Let's go to 850. Look at that. That's some very strong winds there. So there's going to be a lot of energy in the atmosphere tomorrow night. Expect quite a stormy night. It's a good thing the leaves aren't on the trees yet. But I still think there's going to be some power outages. Scattered, very widely scattered, but there's going to be some damage out there from these winds for sure. Heavy wind, heavy rain tomorrow night. Anytime after, I would say, 9 o'clock. Try to be home because it's not going to be fun being out in this. That is going to wrap up the weather update. And I'll keep you posted on the storm. It's going to be a rough night tomorrow night. Have a good night.